It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live on WBON TV and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Wearhouse and join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live to your host, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. I'm a little bit rusty, Samantha, you know.
You are rusty because you've been on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens when you take some weeks off. I've had people say, "Where's Michael?"
Well, that's good. I'm glad
back?
I'm missed.
Or they're saying, "Are you doing the sports show by yourself now?" And I'm like, no. Do I ever want to do that?
3 Mondays off now. It was bookended by a scare with my grandma, and then
Yes.
the death of my grandma, and then in the
Yes.
middle of that, we were gone to Disney World. So all that going on the last 3 weeks. It's been an up and down, kind of a roller coaster ride over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
That's
but
exactly right. And we're happy to have you back.
Well, I've been getting a lot of messages, and appreciate everybody that's reached out and said, you know, some kind things to us. You know, this time of year, it's always tough to lose somebody. But I said this the night that we came back. So we had my grandma's funeral 6 days ago. The Tuesday, we came back and had the Central Southern game. And I was telling everybody on the show or on the game that night during the pregame show, as we get closer to Christmas, as you're celebrating, you know, with aunts and uncles and, you know, cousins and mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, your friends, take pictures, take videos. That was one thing that I was glad that I had done over the last couple of Christmases with my grandma, and
Right.
you know, pictures and videos with the kids. And you know, she had Alzheimer's real bad, which is a terrible, terrible disease. But one thing that I really enjoyed was one of the videos was her and my daughter, who was 4, like just turned 4 at the time last year, and they were kind of talking, and you could tell my grandma has no idea what my daughter is saying. And it's just kind of a cute little video that I'll have, and I'll get to show them when they get older. And my grandpa got to watch that. I was showing it to him. He doesn't have Facebook or the internet even for that matter, but it's just it's just take those pictures, take those videos, enjoy the time.
Right.
But if you got to, just set up a camera and have it for the future, because those little bitty things like that can really make you kind of look back in those memories, and it's good to have. And the good thing is we've got it right here in our pocket. You can have it forever. You know, just keep it on your phone.
And it will be hard. There's going to be – we don't want to start out the sports show so, disheartening. But it is going to be very difficult for so many people this holiday season with the pandemic and just losing so many loved ones and the ones that are still fighting. And not just from COVID, but I know so many sick people right now and cancer scares. And it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you're right. Take pictures. I still have a voicemail on my phone right now from my dad that I've never played.
Yeah.
And he's been gone 1.5 years now. And at some point I will play it. It's just I'm not ready.
Yeah.
So I get it. Do what Michael said. Make sure you take lots of video, lots of pictures. Share this holiday season with the ones you love, for real.
Well, we do appreciate you all joining us, folks. We've got a jam-packed sports show once again here at Campus Wearhouse, which, by the way, some huge deals going on here right now.
I was already shopping while they were setting up all the equipment. I was over there checking.
Well, it's the last week.
Out.
I mean, if you haven't shopped yet, if you're still shopping, if you haven't got your shopping done yet, come on over here and check out these great deals. You know, if you
people are still shopping because the parking lot here is full.
I'm not even done yet. And you're talking about COVID being scary and stuff right now.
Yeah.
The sports world has been hit by COVID. You've seen a lot of games, college games, and
Ohio
NFL.
State. I mean, look at that. I mean, then they got to play North Carolina
Kentucky
for UK.
did, yeah. Now the Louisville game with Kentucky is canceled.
Louisville game has been canceled.
For EKU. Yeah, they were supposed to play Bryant University on Wednesday. That game has been canceled. And I saw some cool banter back and forth on Twitter from Coach A.W. Hamilton.
Yes.
He was trying to get Coach Calipari to bring Kentucky to McBrayer Arena and play, which would be kind of cool to see.
Yes.
I mean, Louisville went to Western to play.
I think it'd be cool to go either way.
Yeah, I mean, well, if Eastern goes to Kentucky to play and then vice versa, I think it would be cool to see that. I mean, they might have to find some more seating because that would be a sold-out game for sure. But
the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.
And Eastern's trying to get back into the flow of things right now, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they've been on a
through
little slump, but they've had 2 great home games.
Yeah.
They won in overtime.
Well, you had West Virginia. It's a big school, big Power 5 school. You had USC out of the Pac-12 on the road. So they've got to experience some different environments. Then you have Marshall and Western. Western's a good team, so they just beat Louisville.
They just beat Louisville.
That's another good team.
How many of us, I hate to be wearing red right now because it is for Christmas.
Yeah.
But how exciting is it that, we were all totally cheering for Western.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if
they're red.
There's one person we know that wasn't cheering for Western. That's Braden Carson, who announced last week he was going to Louisville.
He taught us how to do the
L's up.
No, not thumbs down.
The L's up. The L's up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you updated on when we find out more about if Eastern might go play at Rupp this Wednesday or where Eastern's game, because they're trying to find a game too, as is Kentucky. So we'll see what happens there. Kentucky was trying to get Gonzaga and some of those bigger schools to come to Rupp. That didn't come to fruition. But I think.
And why would it? Because the schedule doesn't allow for any big teams to be coming to Rupp Arena. So many people. Ticket holders are not showing up for the games. I have people going to the games. They're taking pictures and sending it to
the empty seats.
Yeah, look at all these empty seats.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was seeing some of the highlights from the EKU game over the weekend, and that place is packed. They are loaded up. Even on the court, they have those VIP seats.
Yes,
it's a lot of fun right now at EKU games. But the big news that broke last week was the new head football coach at Madison Southern, Coach Mark Payne, who has been, I think, the last 3 years at Pulaski Southwestern. And we know if you're a Southern fan or a Central fan, both those two teams have played Southwestern recently and lost. So we know how good that program has been. He spent some time with Justin Haddix, who's the great coach over at Boyle County. He's won state championships over there. He's been to state title games at Corbin. So he's been in the system with Coach Justin Haddix. So Coach Payne
started out in middle school.
Teaching
middle school football, which how many coaches have started there? So many.
This is kind of like it's just, and I talked to Coach Payne after he was hired. His family was on the way to Disney World, as was Jay Simmons from Madison Southern, and I think even Coach Clark, who was the former head coach of Madison Southern, he's at Disney World right now. So everybody's been down there in December.
Everybody goes to Disney World.
So Mark
get the coaching job, you go to Disney.
So Mark Payne, his family down there. So hope they have fun. And
he's also the FBU for Kentucky, their coach. He's been doing that.
The football, the United team. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's a good hire, and we shared the post. Everybody was commenting, great hire. This guy will do great things at Madison Southern. And I think fans for Madison Southern can be excited because, sometimes when you've had the same coach for a while,
11 seasons,
a change could be a good thing. And we know how great Coach Clark was. And I think
all loved him.
If he becomes a head coach again, he will be very successful wherever he goes.
Yes.
But I think sometimes a change can be good. Now we know.
Look at Madison Central. The change was good.
It was good.
We love Mark Centers, but the change was appropriate.
Yeah.
So it just works sometimes. It's ready.
And Mark Payne, the one thing that he is known for is defense. And, when Southern has been good in recent years, we had that long run 2 years ago when they had the run of the state championship game a few years ago.
Was that 2017?
It has been the defense.
Gosh, it's already been that long ago.
I know, just like that it seems. But it's been a lot of fun, keeping up with this story. And we've heard different names. I won't mention any of that because we don't want to fire that up again. But we've had a lot of names that were mentioned. And Coach Payne was a name that I hadn't heard. But I think when we shared the press release from the school, there was a lot of good things coming out about him, and I think everybody is excited about what Coach Payne could be doing at Madison Southern.
Right, and you think, will he move him and his family? He's got 3 daughters, all with the M names, very similar to my family, all with M names, all girls. So it's exciting. That is a championship program ready to make a championship program even better.
Yeah.
So he's got big shoes to fill. As we said, Coach Clark was there 11 season, has done some wonderful things with Madison Southern football, and it's going to stay on that program, I believe, with this hire.
The press release from the school says Coach Payne has 14 years coaching experience at the high school and middle school levels. He served as an assistant coach under Justin Haddix at Corbin High School and was also the defensive coordinator at Taylor County and the defensive coordinator at Southwestern Pulaski. He also has 6 years experience coaching the FBU, which you talked about. Including 4 years as the head coach. He experienced a lot of success with his FBU Kentucky groups and has been fortunate to see many kids reach their ultimate college aspirations. His last FBU group was 2020, and it was the first time Kentucky reached the national championship game against Georgia. Coach Payne is excited to continue the tradition that is here at Madison Southern, and he will be meeting with the players and hopefully us when he comes back from Christmas break. So,
well, and you know, Southwestern has been to that state title, like regional title championship game 3 straight seasons.
Well, you know,
it's a great program.
They played Central and Southern both last year, and the game they played against Central was the last game of the regular season. I think the Southern game was either the first or second game of the regular season, and they held both of those offenses, which at times were very high potent, to low scoring. I think under 10 points for both teams. So they have a very good defense. I think that's where he will start with, kind of maybe that old school. You play good defense and you run the football. We'll see what happens with Coach Mark Payne.
Looking forward
to talking to
him.
Talking to him. So
absolutely.
We'll see how that goes here in the coming
We're thinking
weeks.
alike.
We do appreciate you all joining us here, folks. There's some great deals going on right now at Campus Wearhouse. We'll tell you about some of those. Also, can't forget about our premier sponsor, Jack Burford Chevrolet. Right now over at Jack Burford Chevrolet, new and used vehicles are flying off the lot. So many great deals at Jack Burford Chevrolet. You got to go over and check those out, folks, over on the bypass in Richmond, or you can visit jackburford.com. But, Samantha, I mean, there's a lot of good deals. People are taking advantage of that. Right now is a great time because it's the Christmas holiday season. If you're still on the fence about what you want to get your loved one, whether it's maybe your better half, your husband or your wife.
You can put a huge bow on
there
top.
you go. Put a new, a big bright red bow on the new Chevrolet.
They have them, green and red.
Really?
bows.
Over at Jack Burford? There we go. So, that'd be fun.
Take it home with you.
Here at Campus Wearhouse tonight, if you're still some last-minute shopping, maybe you want to find a stocking stuffer or two, or maybe something just to add to a gift you've already got
they
somebody.
Have ornaments,
well, they've got UK and EKU 10% off. Polos are $29.99. Old Roll 10% off. They've also got some screen print short sleeve shirts for $14.99. Tie-dye short sleeve for $17.99. Youth is 25% off. They've got beanies for the adults and the kids. They've got all kinds of cool stuff here at Campus Wearhouse over on the bypass in Richmond. Folks, come on over. They've got it decorated really nice, too. So come on in, check it out, and have some fun.
Lots of Christmas shirts, holiday shirts.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of those
want that
as well.
SEC shirt.
I like the SEC shirt. I like the old school mascots that are on there. So
yeah, my husband still does not like the new Wildcat. He's old school. He wants the old Wildcat.
So come on over and check out these deals. They've got Yellowstone and some T-shirts like that. So it's all kinds of cool stuff. So many fans
are watching that. Are you watching Yellowstone?
I'm not. My wife. Everybody else in my family is but me. So
me too. They're all telling me about it. I'm still not watching.
I work too much, even when I'm at home, to sit down and watch. Now I watch a ball game every now and then, but
I feel the same.
So we appreciate you joining us here, folks.
We're going to be working tomorrow, right?
We're going to have some ball games for you this week, too, so we'll get to that and all kinds of more stuff when we come back. We've got interviews with Austin Newton, Damiann Stepp. Hopefully those are going to be ready for us, and all kinds of cool stuff coming up later on. We're here at Campus Wearhouse. This is the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
What does in transit mean? When you see that on our website at jackburford.com, it means your favorite Chevy is on the way. Call us at 859-623-3350 to reserve it, and we'll keep you updated throughout the entire process. See, it's that easy. Reserve your new Chevy today at jackburford.com. Your vehicle is now in transit.
As long as I'm breathing, and know I'm not dying.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then, in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kokudet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation with 24/7 emergency services. Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Wearhouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Wearhouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because, guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Wearhouse now carries the new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit CampusWearhouseRichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Back at Campus Wearhouse, this is the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Samantha, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
No. You know what? And truth be told, my daughter wanted to start listening to holiday music back the day after Halloween.
But we
and
did.
I said, no. So really, just past weekend is the first time I've listened.
When is the proper time, though? I mean, to me, because I like it. I don't go crazy with it, but I'll turn it on in the vehicle. We actually had on one of our stations at Wallingford Media Group, we had it playing the day before Halloween.
Oh, you were like
so
the
we jumped in early.
You jumped in early.
Yeah,
and we're
so
the first.
106.7 The Pinnacle, that's one of our sister stations, and they're still playing Christmas music. It's Madison County's go-to station for holiday music. You got to check that out, folks. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for?
We should have been promoting that a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good place. We have been at other places, but I mean, it's still a good place to go catch your holiday music. And but I've got I like the country music. The Merry Christmas from the Whole Fam Damley from Cletus T. Judd. Merry Christmas from the Family by Montgomery Gentry.
What about Dolly Parton holiday music?
Of
course.
Feliz Navidad. I don't know who sings that, but I love that song. The Mele Kalikimaka.
Oh, I love that one.
That's a good one.
And when we got home last night from our cheerleading competition, we watched Christmas Vacation. I had all three girls at home. So
we're supposed to watch it tonight, actually.
And that song is in that movie. So it's so
it's
funny
a good scene, too.
It is a
the
great
guys like
scene.
that scene,
Absolutely, you do. It's a good segue, though, to talk about the Madison Central Cheerleaders.
Yes, we got that was a good job for them over the weekend. Now, was that like a holiday tournament they went and competed in?
Yes, and it was called the Great Smoky Mountain Holiday Classic, basically, and they cheered JV and varsity. So it was the first time JV had performed their 2.5-minute cheerleading routine. Varsity had performed before at region and state, but both teams won. It's pretty exciting. What a great Saturday for both teams. Phenomenal job. So they both got bids to go to Nationals, which will be in February, which will be in Orlando. So hopefully get to go there with them.
If you do, why don't you let me go with John? And you stay
And I
here.
stay back?
Yeah, I think that would be fine. You did a great, listen.
You think Marley's going to watch you go watch? For cheerleading?
I think she would enjoy
Well, your
being
youngest
there.
is now cheering, so you got to learn the ropes.
Well, my oldest is now cheering, yeah.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but when we were supposed to have had a competition over the weekend, it got canceled, but yeah.
Isn't that always nice, though? You're like, cha-ching, one event off the calendar this holiday season.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been a busy December. It's
been extremely busy. But congratulations, Madison Central. Super excited for them.
And that program. I mean, it's just like the trophy case at the Feldhouse household has got to be just ginormous.
Well, I think that trophy case is at Madison Central.
Probably, yeah. But they've both done a tremendous job with the programs at Madison Central, with both boys basketball and the cheerleading programs as well.
It's expected now.
It is.
When you think of the Feldhouse name between basketball and cheerleading, it's expected.
Yeah.
People know. We walked into a store at Tanger Outlets and they saw our Madison Central, the gentleman working knew that we'd won that day because other teams had been in there before us and said, oh, Madison Central beat us today. And so he knew.
Well, that's cool.
And my child was like, this is
Pretty still celebrity status, right?
Crazy.
You get it all the time when you're around here because you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Christmas music, we've got some songs put together by the Madison Central Band, which is another awesome program at Madison Central. And
every year
we've got
keeps growing. He's got about 300 students in the band, and especially with the flags. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, it's getting bigger.
It was cool
and bigger.
getting to see them perform during football season down there on the field. I know with last year they didn't get to do that because of
right,
COVID, so it was cool
COVID.
to see that
But
this year.
he got 4 students to perform for us today.
Got Gabe Hallman that's an alto saxophone, Mason Anderkin, another alto saxophone, Juanes Ramirez, a tenor saxophone, and Noah Burns, a baritone saxophone. Let's have Gage, our producer, play those songs from the Madison Central Band, and then when we come back, we've got some highlights from our first couple of weeks of basketball season with some more Christmas music behind those. We'll get to those when we come back after this music from the Madison Central Band. So appreciate Gabe Hallman, Mason Anderkin, Juanes Ramirez, and Noah Burns, the saxophone players there. Appreciate those guys for the great music. And again, I just love holiday music. In years past,
Yes.
we've had the bands on the show with us. We've had different bands from both schools be
Right.
on the show with us, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think the
And,
last 2 years.
Yeah,
Maybe
now
not
last
last year. We
but,
didn't.
yeah,
We couldn't
2
have
years
anybody on the
before,
show.
We
Right.
did have that. So,
Right.
and I love.
And still trying to be protective. We kept them in their environment.
Yep.
I went to them, so
That was fun.
it worked out good.
So speaking of Christmas music, last week I was able to put some highlights together from some of our first games that we had. We had the Madison Central Berea girls game. We had the Rockcastle County Southern boys game.
At Berea College.
The Central Southern girls boys game that were both at Berea College.
Yes.
So here's some highlights from those games with some Christmas music mixed in for a little holiday cheer for you.
Merry Christmas, 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 Merry Christmas.
Newman from 3, nailed it.
What does in transit mean? When you see that on our website at jackburford.com, it means your favorite Chevy is on the way. Call us at 859-623-3350 to reserve it, and we'll keep you updated throughout the entire process. See, it's that easy. Reserve your new Chevy today at jackburford.com. Your vehicle is now in transit.
As long as I'm breathing, I know I'm not dying.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Esco County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation with 24/7 emergency services. Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Wearhouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Wearhouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Wearhouse now carries the new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Back here at Campus Wearhouse, this is the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you, Samantha. And there's a lot of really cool basketball being played in the area. Right now, the Berea Holiday Classic, the Madison Central, I think there's an Adams or whatever, their Holiday Classic going on. And then the Holiday Classic over at Madison Southern for the boys basketball team over there as well. So all three of those programs.
And they just got out of one in Moorhead, or maybe it's still going on as well.
For Central boys,
Yes,
so
Central boys.
The Roundland County Classic over there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in the area right now. The Berea Holiday Classic ends tonight. Right now there is Berea versus Floyd Central currently going on, and then Oldham County plays Madison Southern at 7 o'clock tonight. Also in the Madison Southern Lee's Famous Recipe Holiday Classic, of course, the Lee's Famous Recipe over in Berea sponsoring that.
Yes.
There's a lot of good teams being competing in that tournament. LCA in West Jessamine, Henry Clay in Seneca, Frankfort, South Oldham, and then Madison Southern LaRue County. So all four of those, or all 8 of those teams playing in that Holiday Classic. We'll keep you up to date. We're going to try to get some of these games in. We do know that tomorrow we're going to be at Madison Central for the girls' game. I think it's against Middlesboro. So we're going to try to be over there at noon for that game tomorrow. Should be a fun one over there. Trying to get some of these girls' games in and see some good teams.
They had a rough start to the season. All those away games. Then they won their 2 games. And then they've lost some more. So they're having a very up and down season. But that Hensley girl,
she's good.
You gotta love watching her play.
Boys basketball wise, we had Madison Central and Southern, the boys game last week. It was a really fun game. We knew it would be fun because we knew Southern was more confident this year.
Back and forth.
And and Austin Newton in his interview talks about it. There was one moment where that game changed. with around 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go. Nate Turner at the free throw line. They're down by 1. He has 2 free throws. He misses both. From that point on, Central dominated the second quarter. I think it was an 18-2 run they finished with. Took a big lead into halftime. Now in the second half,
they pressed them. The Indians pressed them.
Yes, that was what changed the thing.
Totally changed the game. Central, we're not used to seeing that out of Central.
Well, then in the second half, though, I mean, Southern handled the press a little bit better, and they actually outscored Central in the second half. So that was interesting to see. You take away those 3 minutes, that 3.5 minute stretch in the second quarter, and it was a neck-and-neck ball game.
Yes.
But those 3 minutes did happen. Central went on to win, and we talked to Austin Newton about that today, about that game, about some of his younger players, how they've been playing early on in the season, and also about the Holiday Classic that they have going on right now.
And I think it was West that got the 2 big steals in the third quarter.
And
that was such a spark for them,
the dunks
too.
Got the fans
and
going.
Rose, he's had a dunk every game we've been to.
It's
for
been
Southern.
fun watching the athletes get up there and just do what they do, and Jay Rose and Jaden West.
Yes.
So we'll hear from Austin Newton here in this interview about the Holiday Classic going on over at Madison Southern. If you're looking for something to do this week, if you're off work and looking for some fun basketball games, the Madison Central girls basketball team and the Madison Southern boys basketball team both are hosting holiday tournaments. Let's hear about the boys one over at Madison Southern from the head coach, Austin Newton. Talking with Austin Newton of the Madison Southern Eagles. And Coach, first, right now it's a busy time for you as you all get set for your holiday tournament. Just talk about that and kind of how things are going with that tournament.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to tip off here at 1 o'clock today. We feel great about the teams that are in our tournament this year. We got 4 teams out of the 11th region, just a really good field of 8 teams. We tried to do this last year, and COVID kind of knocked us out of it, but it's basically it's a tournament. Lee's Famous Recipe here in Berea is sponsoring for us. Steve and Phyllis Carter that own that Lee's here in Berea are really helping us out with meals and just taking really good care of us to put this tournament on. But it goes through Wednesday of this week, so every team is guaranteed 3 games, and we're playing it just like a real tournament. So if you win, you keep rolling, and if you lose, you go to the losers bracket. But we're really excited to get this thing started and hope to do it every year.
You know, I know last week you had the game against Madison Central. It's always a big deal around the county. But just talk about the way your team played in that game. You know, you look at the first, third, and fourth quarters, both teams very even. It was the second quarter that did you guys in that night. So just talk about that and kind of what you saw from your team and what you are going to have to improve on going into later on in the season and when you all try to match up with them again.
Right. So we weren't happy with how we played against Madison Central. With that being said, there was 3 minutes left in the second quarter, and Nate Turner's at the line with 2 shots, and if he makes them both, we take a 1-point lead with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. He misses both, and they come down and make a 3, and then they go on an 18-2 run, and they're up 16 at halftime. So if you take away those last 3 minutes in the second quarter, we pretty much played them evenly, but unfortunately you can't do that. But overall, we weren't pleased with our effort, with our execution, and give Central credit. They played really hard, and they executed, and we just looked really tired moving around. They looked energized, and hopefully next time we see those guys, we'll be more ready to play.
You know, I think right now, early on in the season, the best kept secret in the 11th region is Hudson. I mean, he has been on fire for you guys, shooting the ball well, and he's got that sort of confidence to him that every coach likes. But what have you seen from him, especially on offense early on in the year, that gives you confidence that he can be, you know, another secret weapon for you going into later on in the year?
Yeah, so Braden last year didn't get to play a lot of varsity. His brother Zach, who's out with a broken wrist right now, was always our guy that started and played a lot, and we as a coaching staff we thought Zach was better, to be honest with you. And then over the summer, Braden was playing really, really well, and we finally figured out that he's just as good as Zach, and he brings a lot of the same things that Zach does. Like, for his size, he rebounds. He had 10 assists the other night. He's getting 7 to 8 rebounds consistently. In the last 2 games, he's really shot the ball well, which is what we've known he could do the whole time. So we need him to be really good. We're not very deep with the injuries that we've had. we're asking him to be our point guard, something that he's not done really in his career. So he's got a lot on him, and he's handled it great. And I do know when his brother comes back, they play really well together. So it's taking him a couple games to kind of adjust to life without his brother, because he's been playing with him his whole life. So he's finally getting more comfortable without Zach out there, and we're going to need him to keep playing really well for us to have a chance to be good. Speaking of those injuries, have you asked Santa for a healthy team at all this year? Has that been on your wish list? I don't know what I do to continuously get our better players hurt, but we just had a run of bad luck here with getting guys hurt. Of course, Walter Smith, got hurt during football season, and we really miss his toughness and just his knowledge of our offense and his charge taking. It's just over the last few games, we just sit here as a staff and talk about, Walt would have done this in this situation. So we really miss him. And, of course, Zach Hudson just does everything for our team, from score to rebound to defend to toughness. So those two guys were just a really big piece to what we had going on. But with that being said, it also allows, and this has happened in years past, it allows other guys that wouldn't get an opportunity to get opportunities. And hopefully one of these days, if Santa comes through for us and we do get healthy, then those guys have that experience, and then you bring back guys that can really help us. So we're hoping that we can get healthy. Yeah, you look at some of the young guys that you've given playing time to. I know Linville last year got some playing time for you at times, and then the Nobby kids come off the bench and played well. So talk about your young guys and what you've seen from them as you've given them minutes early on this season. Yeah, so Kyle Linville's a guy that can really shoot it. He is very streaky. We want him to be a consistent knockdown three-point shooter. But when he gets it going, he can really shoot it with the best of anybody in the region. And then Kason Nobby, he's a freshman, and he's another guy that's just got a lot of toughness to him. And we put him in some really tough situations here early in the season, just without having Walter Smith. He's had to come in and play a lot of minutes at the point, especially when Braden Hudson gets in foul trouble. So he has handled it really great, Nobby, and he's been banged up himself. He's been kicked in the head. He's had thumb injuries, so we're trying to get him healthy. But he really adds some toughness and some speed to our team, and he's just got really high basketball IQ, and we're really excited about what Kason Nobby can do for us over the next 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I've looked at some of the stats of the games that we haven't been to. We've been to a couple of them for you guys as well. But I don't think you all have put a complete, from the tip to the final buzzer game together yet. Would you say that that's true? And I mean, I think it's still good. You look at, only 2 losses on the year. But I think when you guys are able to kind of consistently put a full game together, it'll be really good for your team and show how dangerous you all can be. I would completely agree with that. I would say against Montgomery County was probably our most complete game, where we played pretty well throughout the whole game. But our other wins, it's been a tale of two halves, where we played well one half and didn't the other, or vice versa. So I think you're exactly right. And I think a part of that is, playing with new personnel and trying to figure each other out, and playing with big lineups, and just those things that you have to do early in the season to try to figure out how you're going to win come the end of the season. So it's been a struggle just trying to figure out the right combination of guys on the court, because we still really like our team and our players, and we got a lot of guys that bring us different things when you look at our top 7 or 8 guys. So now it's just a matter of how they fit in and which guys fit in the best together at the same time. So it's going to be a work in progress here for the next few weeks, maybe even months. But I do think that we still have a good basketball team despite the injuries, and we're still finding ways to win, which says a lot about our guys. Well, Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck to you all, and have a good tournament this week. And Merry Christmas to you all as well. Yes, sir, Michael. Merry Christmas, and thank you guys for all that you continue to do for us. Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live tonight at Campus Wearhouse. Also brought to you by the law office of Patrick O'Neill over there in Breathitt County, Samantha, and Bishop Small Engine Repair. If you know, a new mower would be a great present for the folks back home, so take that over to Bishop Small Engine Repair. I can't imagine a man that wouldn't want that. Well, and some women. Listen, my wife will not let me cut the grass because she enjoys doing it so much. Well, there you have it. See, she'd love one too. Yeah. And also Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. That makes me hungry right here at dinner time. All kinds of great sponsors. That place just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, because they just keep getting busier and busier and busier. Exactly. So we do have
an interview with Damiann Stepp, the head coach of the Berea Lady Pirates. They just knocked off Floyd Central 50-45. Madison Howard scored her 1,000th point over the weekend. Another 14 points tonight. Alexis Newman, 11 points. Maddie Stepp and Chesney Levens with 10 apiece. And how about this for Berea? 8-0 on this season to start the year for the Lady Pirates. And Damiann Stepp, so proud of his team. But really, no surprise. I mean, I'm not surprised that they started the season 8-0.
We kind of predicted them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 4 good girls basketball teams in this 44th district. And it's, back and forth every year who's going to win that championship. But, I mean, they won it last year, right?
Southern won it last year.
Southern won it last year.
But Berea won the All-A Classic.
Oh,
and
that's
I think
right.
this is the year that they put it all together. Let's hear from Damiann Stepp about what he thinks about his team being 8-0 and what he's been surprised with this year from his team early on. Talking with Damiann Stepp, the head coach of the Berea Lady Pirates. Coach, we talked before the season, and you were confident in your team finally trying to put it all together this year, and you all have come out of the gate so quick, off to a 7-0 start. Just talk about how your team has played to start the season.
For early season, I think we're definitely clicking pretty well. Michael, we have the core of everybody back, and we kind of knew that we should be able to kind of hit the ground running. Assuming that we didn't have any hiccups. And fortunately, we've stayed healthy. We continue to kind of improve early. Obviously, we're not in mid-season form, but nor is anybody else. So, we definitely, I think we're definitely ahead of the curve a little bit, and it's certainly translated, I think, in the win-loss column for sure.
Right now, you're in the midst of your holiday tournament, which is a big deal for you all every single year. Talk about the turnout for that and the kind of competition that you've seen from yourself and other teams in the tournament as well.
Oh, yeah. This is, I think, the 27th year of the tournament. Our tournament attracts pretty good quality competition. The teams in there are all, middle, upper tier teams amongst their region. So we've seen a real good turnout and and spectators and a lot of excitement here, and definitely a good group of teams have come in here. I've been really impressed with really all of them. I think standout West Carter has been really good. This Allie Stone is really special. I think she scored over 2,700 points in her career, and she has not disappointed here in the tournament. She's looked really good. Of course, some of the other teams, Floyd Central, who is really a consolidation school of 2 consolidated schools, and so it's the bulk of most of Floyd County, and I think they're a real powerhouse in that region, and it's a very senior-laden team. They've been really impressive. So that's just a couple, but I think every team in this event is pretty formidable amongst their region. So it's been exciting. We did a little different format. We didn't do a bracket format. What we did was just did kind of a pre-scheduled event. With COVID, we thought that would have a little more flexibility if we had to make some changes. Fortunately, the teams that we had, and we have 10 this year, the teams that we had all were able to participate, and they seem to have all of their players. So we were able to just kind of have 5 games a day for 3 days, and we're doing it in one gym, and so it's just a day full of basketball excitement over here. So it's been really good.
Well, last night, Madison House scored her 1,000th point, and, I said something last night when we posted it that I think she's just continually gotten better every single year. What have you seen from her, not only through her career, but this year especially coming into her senior season?
Yeah, I think the big thing is confidence has really increased. She's boiling with confidence right now. And then, parts of her game that have developed. Madison's always been a pretty good outside shooter, perimeter shooter. And she's been good to kind of get to the basket, but under a lot of pressure, she previously, has kind of struggled some. But, I think she started handling that pressure on penetration, so she's getting the rim a lot better. And then, she's doing great about finishing in the paint, and that's part of her game. That's, I guess, would be the most expanded part of her game is, with her size. And we had conversations with Madison about, you're open sometimes when other people wouldn't be open, or, I use the expression, you're open even when you're not open, because, you can kind of rise above people and just get that shot off. And I think she's kind of taking that to heart, because she's really getting herself in the paint, pulling up, finishing those 7-8 footers, with a high percentage as well. And then obviously, continued, with penetration, continued, proficiency in, free throw shooting. And so, she's just really becoming, a real complete player for sure.
You look at the early part of the schedule, you've beaten two big schools in the 11th region in Lafayette and Dunbar, got a big win over your district foe, Madison Central. As you go throughout this year, wins like that, I think that gives your team confidence to do things that you all want to do this year. How important were those wins early on in the season for your team?
Yeah, I think any region win in the 11th region is a confidence builder. But, when you can go into Fayette County and compete with, what by classification in other sports are like 4 and 5A, sometimes 6A schools, it's a real confidence builder. And I guess that, I think that what we saw last year was times where we kind of felt that we might be able to compete. And this year, I think these kids have really kind of, grabbed on to that notion that, hey, you know what, when you go into these games, you might very well be the favorite. You might be, you're not the underdog. And, we've kind of had to change our talking points a little bit too about, we're a Class A school, but you got to quit viewing yourself as an underdog. You're a junior, senior, laden, and I can't imagine anybody has more experience in this region, with players who literally played varsity basketball for 5 and 6 years. So I think that that's there for certain, but then you got to prove it. And so, going in and, playing well and that game against Lafayette kind of boosted her confidence. And then I think the following week coming back in and going to Dunbar, just kind of illustrated how that boost of confidence that was gained, carried on over into the following week against a very similar opponent. I think those two teams went and played later that week, and it was a 2-point game. So, it goes to show that that really those teams are very competitive amongst each other, and we can definitely get ourselves into that discussion, get ourselves into the mix by going and kind of proving that to ourselves.
When you look at the way your team has played this year, and you've been around these girls for so long now, you know your team very, very well. But is there anything that has surprised you from maybe one player or one particular game thus far early on in the season?
Well, I think that it would be, if you were to say like who's kind of breaking out, and I've spoken about it before. Chesley Lovins has definitely been a different type player this year. Her leadership is starting to show, and as a junior, she's one that will be able to kind of take the reins and get the team to kind of rally around what we're trying to accomplish at the time. Her numbers going up. Her rebounding is for her size is really impressive. Her defense, has been even accelerated a notch, and the scoring is starting to come along as well. So we're going to talk about that. As far as a player, I think that the bigger story with this group is the unselfishness of this group. We've got Madison just hit her 1,000th point. Maddie Stepp scored 1,000 points as early part of last year. Mm-hmm. There's times that we've had. I think we played Raceland. I think Maddie took one shot. Yeah. And obviously that's not what we want. We want, she's a scorer. She's been able to score. We want her to be a producer as well. But, the unselfishness of knowing that, anything that it takes to win. Got Alexis Newman, who is a knockdown shooter, who's really increased. She's been a great shooter, but she's really increased her accuracy, and she's been very, very particular about shot selection. So, her numbers, I think right now she's a 52% 3-point shooter.
Wow.
Last year she was, at points in the early season she was in the 40s, but it kind of dipped a little as season progressed, and she was at times last year kind of just taking anything, first thing that looked like a good shot, and so being patient, the unselfishness and moving it around has created more opportunity. I think she's 22 for 40 right now from outside the arc, and instead of 52%, and somebody with her ability to shoot the basketball, and a 52% 3-point percentage is a pretty deadly combination.
Yeah.
And it just goes down the line. I mean, the guys are coming off. Mackenzie Howell, I never try to miss an opportunity to speak about Kenzie Howell. Kenzie Howell is kind of the heart and soul of this team, although she's not in that starting five group always. But I mean, she's a kid that just doesn't make mistakes. She comes in, she gives you everything that she needs to give you. She doesn't hurt you. I mean, she just gives you the things that you need. As long as it's rebound, boxing out, strong outlets, smart decisions, hustle. I mean, she just gives you so much. Maddie King, Abby Beard, those guys have made us, I think, what the difference between being a good team and a very good team at this point, and hopefully, a great team as we continue to progress. You can't just do it with five.
Yeah.
You certainly can't do it with one. That's been proven. But you can't just do it with five. You've got to have those parts and pieces down the line. And these guys have really stepped up to that and accepted those roles. I can't overlook Isis Rogers either. Isis is a starter. Isis kind of was on that bubble as a starter, and she just stepped her game up tremendously this summer. Probably put more hours in individually than anybody in the program. And her shooting, she working on shot selection as well, but her percentage is way up. I think she's about a 50% 3-point shooter right now.
Wow.
And working those other facets of the game that she can bring to the table, which is defense, rebound, penetrating, and all of those have improved.
And did I just say that she got a scholarship offer for somewhere?
So Isis has been traveling. She traveled with Richmond Heat, and she traveled pretty heavily this past summer, and really got a lot of attention with her travel ball. And that's good because, like I say, sometimes the unselfish nature of our kids and the way that we play, some of these kids fly under the radar. I mean, we were, Cat Paw's magazine, we were preseason, I think, 6th in the region, but didn't have a single kid on the list of top players in the region. And there's no way that there's no, in my opinion, there's no way that we shouldn't have a kid or two on that list.
Yeah.
So in doing some of her travel stuff, I had to hand it to Rob Clark. Rob Clark's done a lot of good stuff in the area, with working with a lot of our kids and getting them out there on those exposure events with this Richmond Heat program. And so, he's he give a little credit to him on that too. Isis played with him, and they went and did some travel stuff, and she got some looks, and I started getting some emails about interest. And she's a top-notch student, good ACT score. She got a lot of things that that colleges are looking for. I think the opportunity right now was recently I think it's Spalding. I think it's at Louisville, Spalding University. But yeah, she's and I think she can play at that level. I think that she's definitely a kid who can play next level basketball. And I think we have several of them.
Yeah.
You don't hear about these kids the way that sometimes you do with some of these travel programs where there's a lot of promotion behind it. They're really heavy in the social media, but we've got a lot of college coaches coming to our tournament this weekend. We make a lot of contacts. We reach out to those guys. I'm seeing highlights and stats and things on these kids, and I think that for an appropriate level for their ability, I think you're going to see over the next few weeks or as the season progresses, a lot of these kids kind of situate themselves somewhere with an opportunity to play at the next level.
Well, Coach, as always, appreciate the time, and looking forward to seeing you all play this year again. And good luck the rest of the year, and looking forward to paying close attention to Berea. I know we're getting close to the All-A Classic tournament for you all as well.
Yeah, it's an exciting time as well. So, yeah, we're definitely getting geared up for that one. Hopefully we can make another run at a fourth straight championship there.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Damiann Stepp, obviously happy with his team, got another big win tonight, and they still waiting to hear back from Coach. We might be over there Wednesday for a game with them. They're supposed to play West Jessamine at 1:30 Wednesday, so if they do, we'll go over and do that game. We're also going to be again tomorrow at Madison Central for the Madison Central Middlesboro girls game. So keep those two games in mind. If you're out and about this week, all kinds of good high school basketball, girls at Central, boys at Southern, some holiday tournaments, so go check those out. And the schedules are up online. You can check out the Central, I think Madison Central girls basketball Facebook page or Madison Southern boys basketball Facebook page for the updates on who's playing and what
on
time,
Twitter.
all that good stuff.
Most of them are all on Twitter, too. That's the easiest way.
Samantha, this is a busy time for us every year, but it's a busy time for everybody. And we appreciate all those folks that watch the ball games, that watch the sports show, that watch the newscast.
And comment, all their kind comments. We get a lot. A lot of grandparents, a lot of parents.
We appreciate you all, folks. Have a great Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season. Stay safe. Enjoy the time with family. And thanks for tuning us in and watching each and every single Monday. For Samantha Burford, our producer, Gage Hill, I'm Michael Watkins. Coming at you live from Campus Wearhouse tonight. This has been the Jack Burford
Merry Christmas.
Chevrolet Sports Show.